You're watching Southeast Texas Live on Fox 4 with Nicole Murray. This is Southeast Texas Live.
Well, the McFaddin-Ward House is hosting a lecture this evening, and Jamie Brickhouse is sharing his memoirs about his mother, Dangerous When Wet. And he joins us with a sneak peek in studio. Good to see you.
Good to be here. Good to be back in Beaumont.
Oh, excited. And that's what you were just telling me. You're from Beaumont. So tell me a little bit about being from Beaumont and writing this book about your mom.
Yeah, I grew up here in Beaumont until I was 18 and until I went away to college. And I'm the son of Jean and Earl Brickhouse. And I call my mother Mama Jean in the book. And she was this force of nature, as anyone in this town knew her, and overpowering, and loved me within an nth degree of myself. And so the book is about her, about my two most important relationships, booze and my mother, Mama Jean, because it's about my alcoholism and how I, descended into that after I moved to New York and then recovered from it. Awesome. With the help of my mother, and my relationship with her was addictive, kind of like my relationship with booze. But one of them almost killed me, and one of them saved me. Yeah. Guess which one?
Yes.
But I'm here. The book came out about a year and a half ago, and I was here for it when it came out in hardcover. But I'm here tonight for the McFaddin-Ward lecture, and I'm thrilled about that because I've been writing a new memoir called "I Favor My Daddy."
Oh, okay.
Which is about my father, Earl, and he's in this book, but he's kind of peripheral because this book is really, the story is about her, but now it's his turn. And he was a force of nature in his own right, and he was, a lot of people used to call him Mr. Beaumont because he was very connected to the community here, and he was on every board, all the historical societies, the Terrell Library and Jefferson Theater. And he was the head of the Convention and Visitors Bureau for many years, and then was public affairs director at Lamar University. So he had a very public, high-profile job, and he was probably on this set many times.
Yes, I'm sure.
That book is called "I Favor My Daddy," and it's not out yet because I'm still writing it. But I'm going to give Beaumont the first sneak peek into that book because I have not even shared it. I've only shared it in my writing workshop in New York City. But I have not shared it with even my editor at my publishing house. So Beaumont is getting the first look tonight at the memoir, and I'm also going to give a storytelling performance because I've gone back to my dramatic roots. I started performing after the book came out. I started performing stories that I adapted from Dangerous When Wet, and then turned that into a one-man show, which I just finished doing in New York. And tonight I'm going to give a little storytelling performance of one of the chapters from Dangerous When Wet. So we get a three-pronged talk tonight. I'm going to do the storytelling performance. I'm going to read from the new memoir, I Favor My Daddy, and I am also going to give a little talk about how I became a writer and a performer after I got sober.
Wow, so exciting. Now, what time do you go on?
The event is tonight at 6 o'clock. So, and everyone should get there a little bit early because it's a first come, first serve basis. And so people should get there before 6 so that they are sure to get a seat. And there will be a reception. My talk is about an hour, and then there's a reception after that. So it's going to be a lovely evening, and it's in the Visitor Center on Calder, across the street from the McFaddin-Ward mansion. All right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. As we go to break, can you give us a little excerpt from your book? A little bit?
Oh, God.
I put you on the spot.
You did put me on the spot. People need to show up to the
McFaddin-Ward House.
They do. Yes, they do. Okay. And I'll give them a grand show, I promise.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Nicole.
We appreciate it.
We are back with Jamie Brickhouse. The Beaumont native is now a well-known author in New York City, one of my favorite places. Welcome home.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us why you are home. You brought us your book, Dangerous When Wet.
I did, and the book came out in 2015 in hardcover, and last year in paperback, and I am here to talk about the book. Well, first of all, I'm giving a talk at the McFaddin-Ward House tonight.
Yes.
Doors open at 6 o'clock, so get there early because they say it sells out fast and it's first come, first serve. So I'm giving a trifecta presentation, three-pronged. I'm going to talk about Dangerous When Wet and perform a story from it, because I've also become a storyteller performer and have done a one-man show based on the book, which I just finished in New York City. And I also have a new memoir that I'm working on that's not set for publication yet, but it's called I Favor My Daddy. Okay. And it's about my father, Earl Brickhouse, who was a big man about town here in Beaumont. And I'm going to give Beaumont the first sneak peek of that memoir. I haven't shared it with anyone, not even my editor yet. And so I'm going to do a reading from that, a performance from Dangerous When Wet, and I'm also going to give a talk about how I became a writer and a performer, and how it grew out of that, as well as talking about growing up in Beaumont with an over-the-top mother, Mama Jean, whom I call in the book.
And in the book also, you talk about growing up here in Beaumont, plunging into addiction. I mean, all of these things that you've experienced in life, you touch on.
Yeah, and the book, I tell it with a lot of humor, and I'm lucky I inherited my sense of humor from both Mama Jean and Earl, my father, and but the book is about my two most defining relationships, with alcohol and my mother, Mama Jean, and one of them nearly killed me and one of them saved me, so you can guess which one saved me.
Yes.
And so yeah, it's about growing up in Beaumont, going to New York City and working and becoming a book publicist there, and my career soaring there, as well as my alcoholism, and then how I bottomed out, and how Mama Jean kind of came in and saved the day. And
you can always depend on your mom, right?
You can. Well, I don't know if everybody can, but I sure could. I was lucky
can
that
too.
way.
Yes, I am too. Very lucky. So for people who want this book,
yes.
I know you have a website.
I do have a website, jamiebrickhouse.com. There's ways to order it on there. It's also available here at Barnes & Noble. We're going to have copies tonight at the McFaddin-Ward House event, which I will be signing and personalizing. And, and of course you can get it on all the online retailers as well.
Very good. Well, that free lecture, again, is going on tonight. Jamie Brickhouse back in Beaumont, 6 to 8. Get there early. We're told that a lot of people usually show up at these events, and so if you want a good seat, get there before 6 o'clock to ensure that you do have one, and you can meet Jamie Brickhouse at the McFaddin-Ward House Visitor Center, taking place tonight. Welcome home. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hope you have a great turnout.
All right. I think we will. So y'all come on out.
Yes, come on out, and then also visit his website and keep up with him there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.